Hi everyone, Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seed to Transformation Healing Center. It's time for Taroscopes. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Gemini. That's Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising for the month of February 2026. Now, February is a short month, and it's going to feel real short because February 1st is on a Sunday. So by the time you get to that first week, you're going to be all the way to the 7th. So it's going to go 7, 14, 21, 28, done, right? So it's going to go fast. It's going to go fast. And there are some pretty powerful things happening this month. We have eclipses and we have uh, a aspect that only happens every 36 years. The Saturn Neptune conjunction in the first degree of Aries never happened before. And something that happens every 36 years and changes the very structure of power. Last time we had it, we had the downing of the Berlin Wall, and we also had the Tiananmen Square massacre. There were two things that happened in the last conjunction that happened in 1989. And so this big deal. It's a big deal. And, it's happening in Aries, which is a sign that you do um, sort of get along with energetically. Aries is air and you're fire, which can, I mean, no, Aries, Aries is fire and you're air, which can potentiate each other. So you do have to watch that you don't maybe burn the candle on both ends or burn the candle down, right? Two tapers maybe burning at the same time. Anyway, just thinking of Gemini and the two pillars. So there's that. Okay, so we'll get into that. The next thing, we'll get into that. Let me talk about your sign. Let's take a look at your sign. Okay, so again, we're dealing with the Hanged Man energy. We're in a 10-1 vibration year with the second month being a 2, adding up to 12. And adding up to the Hanged Man. Now, the Hanged Man in the tarot is associated or connected to Neptune. And of course, Neptune is now in Aries and will be making that conjunction to Saturn this month for all of us. So Mercury spends the month in Aquarius and Pisces, mostly Pisces. On on the 5th, we have Mercury make a last quarter square to Uranus. All the personal planets are making squares, last quarter squares to Uranus. Last quarter squares are crisis in consciousness squares. We are changing our mind about something. It's part of the process of individuation. And so we are individuating out of the collective and sort of, in a way, moving on our own ideas and our own thoughts that will bring us to others who are moving in that progressive direction. And together we will create a more progressive future. That's really sort of um, the story, the story of the next number of years. On the 6th, Mercury ingresses into Pisces, as I said, and she's in Pisces, or you're in Pisces, or Mercury's. It's in Pisces. Actually, Mercury is considered hermaphroditic, so don't tell the righties on that one. We don't want we don't want to cause trouble, right? So it ingresses into Pisces where it moves and then goes to retrograde on the 26th. You see here Mercury retrograde on the 26th at 23 of Pisces. Mercury does trine Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter is in Cancer, so once Mercury moves into Pisces, um, it's going to have access to make a trine to Jupiter. That happens on the 16th. That's lovely. That's a lovely energy. And it is an energy of uh, sharing what we know. It's a trine of understanding. Maybe we get to talk together to resolve and uh, and fix some of the things that need fixing. So I think that's good for groups, collective that are trying to work things out, trying to sort of get everyone on board to sort of changing direction and going in a better direction. Of course, the direction has already changed. Um, it's now we're catching up to that change. We have a new moon solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Aquarius. That's happening on the 17th. We also have a full moon in in Leo, and that happens on the 1st. So let's look at the chart here. Here's the moon in Leo. So February 1st, the full moon, sun in Leo. I mean, moon in Leo, sun in Aquarius. Sun just came off a conjunction with um, Pluto at the end of last month. Also, Mars did the same thing, Venus did the same thing, and Mercury did the same thing. So all of these um, planets here have been seated by the world soul in Aquarius. The the eclipse, which happens on the 17th, actually happens at the 29th degree of Aquarius. And I believe that eclipse affects or goes close enough to possibly affect Greenland and Spain and Portugal. Excuse me. Then the sun will go into Pisces. Mercury has gone into Pisces. Venus has gone into Pisces. Saturn, oops, sorry about that. Saturn actually left Pisces and moved into Aries on the 13th of February. And then on the 20th is going to make that conjunction to Neptune in the house of groups. So this is good energy, I think. Like almost like new ideas, right? New blood. Uranus, okay, now, excuse me, need a little something to drink, and all I have is milk, and I don't think that's going to help, but I'm going to drink it anyway. Milk isn't the best thing to clear your throat, but it is wet still, so that's good. All right. So so the eclipse is happening in the house of justice, in the house of justice. So it very well there could be some legal matters that come to a head at this time. And of course, because they're connected to the nodes, they would be karmic. They'd be karmic. So there's some karmic stuff happening, some balancing of the scales happening. Uranus stations direct on the 3rd and then starts its move out of Taurus, where it's been for about 7 years, and will be out for good or for another 77 years, which for me is for good. Uh, it moves into Gemini, and we won't see Taurus again for that 77-year period. So, and it's your sign. It's your sign, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay. Venus, let's see. I said Mercury. Mercury moves into Pisces, goes retrograde on the 6th. No, on the 23rd. Goes into Pisces on the 6th, goes retrograde on the 23rd. Venus starts in Aquarius, moves into Pisces, where it is exalted. Venus in your 10th house can bring some luck and some sort of good vibes to how people see you. Oh, Saturn, yeah, Saturn has moved out. And then the sun's up there as well. The sun's up there. So there's a lot of, you're going to get a lot of sort of press. You're going to get a lot of people seeing you. So I mean, it's up to you how you want to put yourself out there, but know that people are going to be It's going retrograde, so you're reconsidering some things. Your second house is your house of values, your house of money. So you might be reconsidering how to utilize your money or where to put your money, or you could be reevaluating just your values. Like, is this important to me anymore? Is this not important to me? That kind of thing. I have been connecting all the signs to trees. And there's actually correspondences. You can, Google them if you like. But the tree that came up for Gemini was the apple tree, was the apple tree. And, apples are symbolic of the goddess. If you cut an apple coronally, no, not coronally, that's coronal, this way. If you cut an apple, instead of the way you cut it down like this, you cut it like this, whatever, horizontal. We'll call it horizontal. And you look in the apple, there's a pentacle, right? The pits of the apple make the pentacle up. So it's connected to um, it's connected to our humanity. And Gemini is a sign that deals with our dual nature, which we can only have like if we're not divine. So we're human, right? It's part of our humanness, living in a dual world. So it's a powerful symbol, and an apple a day does actually keep the doctor away. Especially if it's not one of these newfangled super sweet apples and you get like sort of like a regular apple. um, it's got a lot of fiber. It's really it's good for your teeth. It's good for your colon. It's just good for you. Um, and it's a good way to start the day, unless you're allergic, right? Then of course not. But uh, it's a good way to start. It starts things moving, and it sets your metabolism. As long as it's not an apple that's too sweet, it can set your metabolism for the day if you start with it. So that's it. And no apple juice, because juice is a terrible way to start the day. Take it from this doctor. Okay. All right. Enough about that. Let's get to the card reading. Okay. So I'm going to be using the Starseed Oracle for the Oracle pull. That's what I've used for everybody. And I'm using the Modern Spellcasters deck for your reading. So show me what Gemini needs to be aware of this month. Gemini in February 2026. Okay. We start with, the Page of Pentacles. So you have a new project that you're either starting or you're presenting, right? This might be what do they call that? Like when you present to the boss, this is the way we want to take this. And the boss either agrees with you or doesn't, like a presentation, right? But yeah, so we're something new, something maybe a new educational opportunity, a new class. You might be taking a new class. You want to learn something new, but it has to have sort of a practical. Maybe you have to make money doing it, but it just has to be practical for you. And let me tell you, doing what you love or investing in that which opens your heart is I think always a good investment. The challenge is the Five of Swords. Somebody is not being fair. You could be being bullied with this energy. No, somebody is not being fair. Or, the Page of Pentacles is it's a card of young people, young women usually, but also young men. And I think there's a lot of people concerned with their children, their grandchildren, in the environment that we're in, because the people who are coming at them are not playing fair. So that's possible too. That's possible too. We'll just keep that on the sort of the back burner if that happens to be you. Um, And we have the Temperance card. So at the root of this is okay. At the root of this is whatever you're attempting to start at this time, I think is about healing. It's about balance. Um, and people might actually be giving you a hard time about it. Or it could be your own negative thoughts giving you a hard time about it. So you can decide which one that is. In the past, justice. So something was balanced out in your life. Justice came, right? And maybe the temperance that you're experiencing now was court ordered. I don't know who this is for everybody, right? So you can take that or leave it, but or certainly, if not court ordered, because of the justice card in the past, you made the decision. That's it. This is an irrevocable decision. You are on the path to healing. In the sky, the illumination of the sun. Oh my goodness, these cards are so powerful. You're really being reborn this month. Let's see what's in the immediate future. We have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is about love. These guys are feeding each other, whatever is in that cup. You can decide what you want to put in your cup. But there's a little bit of a like a exaltation in this card. So you do like I feel like there are good things coming, but you don't want to get too excited. You don't want it to like overtake you. You know what I'm saying? There's an energy of being overtaken here. And that's something, again, the root of the reading is temperance. Oh, the root of the reading is temperance. This could be your friends coming and saying, come on, let's go out to the bar. Let's go have some fun. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Something you might be trying to get away from. So be aware that your friends are going to be knocking on your door. People see that you've changed, the Wheel of Fortune. How people see you changed. You're changed. You know how they say, you've changed, like it's a bad thing. Not usually. Your domestic situation, we get the Three of Pentacles. This is working on things that you enjoy, things that you're good at. This is the real craftsman. Um, somebody who takes a lot of pride in what they do. And yeah, yeah, this is a nice card. That's a nice card to have there. It also is also security, financial security for the family. Hopes and fears, you're very anxious. You're very anxious about something. It could be the state of the world. You could be losing sleep. Notice that all those swords are within a circle of thought here, right? She's focusing on those swords. And sometimes if you spend too much time focusing on the things that are wrong in the world, your life becomes wrong, right? So I mean, if you need to know, you need to know. I understand that some people don't need to know. Some people have to cut themselves off from knowing certain things because those things are either too distracting or too painful for them to face. Not everybody's in the same place about everything, right? Your outcome, the Nine of Cups. So it looks like you're getting your wish, whatever that wish might be. It looks like you're getting it. I'm going to continue to pull though, because I like to get a major arcana if I can. Yeah, and then we have some heartbreak. So there is a little bit of that. Be careful what you wish for because you might just get it kind of energy with that. Um, but then we have the strength. So you're strong enough for all of it. And I think perhaps maybe the heartbreak card might have something to do with the fact that you are on a temperance path and people that you care about are not. And you might have to make the decision to cut them out of your life for your own strength and your own, not necessarily your own sanity, but your own sense of maybe what's important. Yeah. All right, guys. Wow. Yikes. That was intense. All right, one more. I just have to find what I did with them, where I put them. I didn't put them back in, right? Oh dear. I'm gonna do the cards as soon as I find them. What did I do with them? Pray tell. I'll be back. Can't find them yet. I found them. Had them jammed next to me on the chair. Goodness gracious. Okay. Last pull. Last pull. Oracle deck. Starseed Oracle. Rebecca Campbell is the author, and Danielle Noel is the artist. Oops, there we go. It's a lovely deck. No. Okay. We have Surrender to the Sweetness. This is the second time I've gotten this series of readings. So you may be one of those people who got this twice. I will read it to you. Surrender to the Sweetness. Almost makes me wish I was a Gemini. Okay, hold it up for you guys. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. This is a sensual, highly feminine card. It is a call to surrender to the sweetness of life, to let the ever abundant feminine take over, to taste the fruits you've been working so hard to grow, to let your senses take over and really drink in your life with wonder, to get intoxicated on the simple bounty this planet has to offer, and which you have within you when your well is full. The ancient Babylonians connected the feminine goddess Ishtar to the planet Venus, and in Roman mythology, Venus was the goddess of love and beauty. In our night sky, aside from the moon, Venus shines the brightest. Time is our most precious resource, and it is the greatest healer. If you have been all work and no play, this is a sign to take a moment, some time out to reconnect with your lover, play with your children, give yourself the luxury of time without an agenda. Many of us are so busy building our lives that we forget to enjoy them. We forget why we decided to build them in the first place. Disconnection from the sweetness causes more pain than we realize. You know, it's interesting because I often see Gemini as the butterfly, and the butterfly does just that. It just goes from beauty to beauty to beauty and tastes the sweetness from flower to flower to flower. That's kind of its job. That's kind of its job, to keep up its energy so it can mate. I'm not saying that's every Gemini, but that whole idea of sweetness and tasting the sweetness, especially important for Gemini, because Gemini likes to keep things light, and we're living in very, very heavy times. And so you have to connect to that so that you can survive the heavy. All right. Have yourself a wonderful month. Like and subscribe if you'd like. Check us out on Saturday nights. Every Saturday night, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, we have Mystic Sisters. That's me and Ona from Ona's Tarot. I'll put a schedule below so you'll know when uh, and which channel is which, or which channel will be on. I'm also starting a beginner's astrology course in February. It's going to be, I believe, this first week of February. I believe it's the first week of February. So it's going to be on Monday nights. Maybe it's the second week of February then. I'll put it below. Sorry about that. I should know. But I do know in May I'm going to be having another start of a group for the Kabbalah and introduction to the Kabbalah. I do a class like a beginner's class in the spring and in the fall, and so you could be part of our spring collection. All right, guys. All that information will be below. Have a wonderful month, and I'll see you in March. Unless I see you in the morning when I do my astrology every day. Not at the same time always, but every day. Take care, everyone. Namaste.